We just got back from annual conference last week, and you always go into annual conference kind of holding your breath because there's a lot that happens. It's business, it's community, but there's also a side where usually someone gets up in the middle of a plenary session, raises their card, and has some kind of complaint. And so we sat there and we started our clergy session, and all was well. And then we went into plenary session, and there was this levity to it. There was this excitement, and that was really kind of the trend throughout conference, was in a theme of "Come, Holy Spirit, come." We learned first, and we're reminded that we are never the ones that are beckoning the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is at work in us and through us all the time. But in these moments of pure joy, we are reminded that the Holy Spirit is working with us for us to do transformative things in our society and in our communities. And so I shared that message with you, that lest you forget that we always have some impact, we can look to the Holy Spirit for guidance in whatever we're doing on a day-to-day basis. For me, it was also a very personal experience because my dad retired after 39 years of ministry, and so I'm very excited for him. One of the things that happened during his ceremony was they sang "Great is Thy Faithfulness," and it's a hymn that I love. And if you sat with our Wesleyan group when we talked about the impact of hymns, I think this is one that's going to sit with me for a long time. We know that God is faithful, but I never really think about the idea that those who have gone before us in ministry, but even in our lay persons, the impact that they have throughout the conference. Everyone is connected. We know that as well. And so in those connections, we have formed bonds. The retiring clergy had over 500 years of service among them. And I guarantee you that you knew someone who was retiring. It also was a time for us to share in ordinations of our clergy. And so you saw that Marissa was ordained. If you were around when Marissa Gertz was here as the youth director, you will see and be able to champion with her. Another ordained clergy person was Tanner White. And Tanner and I had the opportunity to go to seminary together. We were at Candler, and he was one of the most godly people I have ever met. Every time he opened his mouth, I thought, oh my gosh, I can learn something from that right there. So we got to celebrate Tanner on Saturday. And then on Monday, we got word that Tanner had died tragically in an accident at his home. And as we are going through our own grief, as we are trying to figure out how and why this happens in the mystery of death, we are reminded that we are not alone in our suffering, that God goes with us. And those words are probably not a comfort right now. It's a conference that is grieving that loss. So what I ask in this time as a church in the United Methodist Church of Florida, the Florida Annual Conference, is that you just pray for his wife Mallory, you pray for his daughters Luna and Noah, that you pray for his church of Hillsborough United Methodist Church, that as a community of believers, we can rally around them in this time. Unfortunately, conference in its joy ended this way, but we know that this is not the end, that we will see Tanner again. And he was a strong believer in the resurrection, and so we praise that we will see Tanner at the end in this life in the next.